Yeah, all right, everybody. Welcome to the Utah housing market update that we have going on here on our podcast. And this is Jake Chase.
And Micah, Mr. Utah Real Estate.
Micah, Mr. Real Estate of Utah.
Micah Rocaro, Mr. Utah Real Estate. Don't forget that name.
That's right. Well, tell us why you're hooked, what's going on. We'll start there because we want you guys to know who we are, kind of get our background, what we're doing. And we are definitely a couple of the experts in the market, especially in the Utah market,
right,
and what's going on in there too. So, Micah, why don't you start with you, and then so you're Mr. Utah.
Real quick before I introduce myself and my history and everything, but thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to this channel. Give us a thumbs up, give us comments and everything. Get on there right now, subscribe, because this is a brand new podcast. We're going to do our official first episode. So please support us. We will support you if you support us. So,
dude, that's awesome. You know what's so funny is that we always kind of miss that over, but we really appreciate everybody watching as well too, and we'll grow over time. But you get to be one of the first ones to see this podcast, which is really amazing.
There's a race right now to see who's the first to like and give us a comment, right? So are you going to be the first one?
Love, like, and trust. That's how it is.
But anyway, Micah Rocaro. I've lived in Utah pretty much my whole life. I was born in Hawaii. Lived there till about 7 years old. My dad went to BYU. He also went to University of Utah. So he came from Hawaii, went to schools there, kind of fell in love with Utah, went back to Hawaii, married my mom, had a few kids, 5 of us, and then relocated back to Utah. So I was about 7, 8 years old when I came to Utah. Did all of my younger years, my school years. I was about 3rd grade when I came here, but did all the rest of my school years here, some college here. And my family is from Hawaii, so about, 2002, I went to Hawaii, spent about 10 years out there, met my wife, got married, and then we came back to Utah in 2012. So majority of my life has been here in Utah. I know these mountains. I love these mountains. I spent most of my time on the west side of the Salt Lake Valley, but I know pretty much the whole valley, spending most of my years here, of course. Love this place. I always seem to come home. I've gone different places throughout my lifetime. I've lived in St. George. I love St. George as well. Lived in California for a little bit, Nevada for a little bit, few years, but I always find myself coming back to Utah, to Salt Lake City, for many reasons. One, it's just a great place. I mean,
it's amazing.
It's a great place to raise a family, good schools, the outdoors, winter, summer, it doesn't matter. There's always something to do in the outdoors. The economy is great, and one of the reasons we came from Hawaii to Utah is because we wanted to buy a house, and you can't afford a house on my budget anyway, on my salary in Hawaii. We came here, and within the first year of being back in Hawaii, 2013, bought a house in West Jordan. I've lived there ever since. So the last 13, almost 14 years now, I've been in that same house in West Jordan, and love West Jordan area. Just all around, Utah is just an amazing place.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited to do this with you. You know, it's so funny how, you've just been talking about a whole bunch of different things and where to go to. And we share a lot of the similar mindsets and what we're up to.
And we're even twins, too.
Everybody thinks we're brothers, so we might as well be brothers from another mother. So.
We all look the same, right?
Not all white men look the same with beards. Well,
Apparently we do.
Great.
We always get confused. Are you guys brothers?
Yeah, we kind of are.
Brothers from another mother.
That's right. You know what's so funny is, I love this stuff too. And it's so funny as we go through this, and you're going to learn more about us as it goes on. And I'll introduce myself as well too. And my name is Jake Chase, and I've been doing real estate since I was 19. Actually, it was before that I started my little construction company that I was just a little kid, and I was just kind of hustling, doing things. I built my first house at 19 years old. And, in the last 30 years, I have been involved in about 800 flips, wholesales, retail, and about 1,000 transactions with clients included. But I remember just alone, I was doing all these rehabs in my construction company and in California. And it was crazy. And it was a crazy time. My dad came out and ran that construction company there for a little while, and it's just like going from one to another. And somewhere around 2010, I decided I was going to get a real estate license because I decided I wanted to become a real estate agent and add to my portfolio, and then became a broker just 2 years later. And so it's amazing how your journey will take you down certain paths, and the same thing. I couldn't wait to get out of Utah. Really? I was 26 years ago, old, and I was gone. And Campbell Soup came in, they found me, and they said, "Hey, we're going to give you a job, and we want you to be here in Utah." I said, "No, I'm out." Said, if you want me to work for your company, it's going to be in California. I was really arrogant back then, and so I was like,
California was the place back then.
It was,
right?
and they called me 2 days later and said, hey, we found a job for you. I was like, okay, I'm in, So I worked for Campbell Soup for a short period of time while I was starting that construction company and flipping houses at a time. And it was like, we got to the point where we were doing between 30 and 50 homes a year. And then 2019 came and I had an accident and I crashed and it just stopped everything. And I went from being this guy that was just driving every day. I was working like 90 hours a week. It was crazy, but I got so many aspects of the real estate business along the way that I understood the retail side of it, the wholesale part of it. And then and then I had that accident and had a brain bleed, so it's completely changed everything, changed my relationships, changed how I handle business. And then I was like there for a little while, I was done with real estate and I'm like, I'm out. And I lived in California for 20 some odd years, ran the construction company out there, real estate company and flipping company. And then COVID came and I ended up moving down to Mexico and I did some real estate there. It's a wild, wild west if you want to get in the real estate market down there. And good luck getting paid commissions if you're not have it done correctly.
That's probably a market I would not want to get into right now.
That's right. And then I moved back here about a year and a half ago, and actually this last year in 2025 to really create something differently. My daughter's going to school here now. And, I joined Real Estate Essentials. I was with another company. I was going to create my own brokerage out here. But when I saw what Real Estate Essentials had to offer me, that's when I moved over to this office as well, too, which has really taken it up. And that's where Mike and I came together is we want to create something of value. When he says, just go ahead and subscribe and like, it's not because we want followers. We want to make sure that we bring value to you, and we want you always to be smarter than you did when you started listening to us for that podcast, because we want to create information very Utah specific is where we're at, but it's going to bleed into other areas as well too. But we want to really be your experts and the go-to guys for you that you need to when you have questions about what's going on.
Well, you got your license 2010. Mm-hmm. I got mine in 2013. So together we've got 30 years experience in real estate. So
absolutely.
I don't think there's any more expert than you need to be. 30 years experience, and we've seen it all. I mean, COVID, same thing with me. COVID came around. It changed my career. I had a full-time job at the time and doing real estate on the side. And when COVID came and they were letting people go because government knows better than we do, right? So anyway, they let me go, and I had to go full time, which was Realtor's Christmas, as Jay likes to call it. Our broker Jay was Realtor Christmas when rates went super low and everybody was buying everything and anything, and so I kind of went full time right there, and it was great. It was an awesome time. It just took off, and I was happy, and it's like, hey, great! I'm glad I got let go from my other job because now I can do real estate full time. And then it got a little quiet when the rates went up, and we're like, it's a little scary now, but that's part of the business, and that's why we're here, to give you guys advice on the market, on the Utah market. When it goes up, what are you going to do? When it goes down, what are you going to do?
Has anybody else felt that pain, by the way, like what he just described? Because when that interest rate goes up and we have some serious issues going on, that's a big issue that we have going on, because when we have people that are into the business and we don't know what's going up or what's going down or quite what's going up, because there's a lot of stories, there's a lot of things going on out there, but we want to make sure that you're educated enough that you understand when the market goes up, there's going to be a change. When the market goes down, there's also going to be a change. Yeah.
You just approach it a different way. I mean, the market's going to change forever. I mean, it's going to go up and down. It's going to do weird things, and we adjust to it. The lenders adjusted to it. That's when doing rate buy downs all of a sudden became very popular. Let's do rate buy downs. So when the market changes, it's just you got to look at it a different way, go at it a different, just do it the different way and adjust to it. And we did adjust to it, and it's looking like right now 2026 is going to be a good year for real estate.
It's a great year. In fact, while we're sitting here, that's why I had to like mute my phone and I put it on Do Not Disturb just now. While we were sitting here, just this last time, it rang 3 times, and one of them I got to call back. But it's amazing how fast things change, how much demanding. In fact, what we'll do in some of our podcasts here in the future, we'll take some of these calls, and so you can actually hear us live and how we deal with people and what's going on, how we deal with title companies, how we deal with contractors, how we deal with making offers and negotiating offers. One of the big things that I hear in everybody, and it's a big question for every seller out there, is commissions, right? How much am I going to have to pay commissions? And then if you're a buyer, who pays commissions now because of that big lawsuit that happened, But everything's negotiable, and we teach you how to get the maximum value out of your property if you're a seller, regardless of the commissions. Because if you go and you have a discount person that does it, then it doesn't really push through at all, And so that
Well, you
makes a
get
big
what you pay
difference.
for, right? The saying is you get what you pay for. If you pay a discount brokerage, you're going to get a discount service.
Yeah.
Bottom line. So, I mean, it's up to you. If you want the full service, you want the best of the best, then you're going to pay an agent that's going to do the best of the best. And his commission is going to be a little bit higher, but you're getting the best service. And I always believe the two things in a business that I will always go back for is the product's got to be good and the service has to be good. If one of them's not, if the product's no good, I'm not coming back. If the service is no good, I'm not coming back. Product and service is very important. That's what we're going to, we're going to give you the best product. We're going to give you the best service.
Yeah, we're going to ask you questions along the way because we want to know what you want to hear. We want to know what you want to talk about. What are you missing, in your expertise or in your knowledge as well too. And that's what we're going to bring. We're going to bring you some market specific, neighborhood specific, what's growing and why. How important is a school being in there? How important it is that their gas station is on the corner versus, high school that's 5 blocks away. What's the difference and how does that affect your value? Because if you notice, some houses list on the market and they're gone in 2 or 3 days.
Right.
Other ones will get listed on the market and 3 years later they're still on the market.
Still there.
And why? Yeah. Why does it happen? So we're going to talk about that.
And the difference between already constructed homes that have been there for a while versus new construction. What's the differences? What's the pros and cons of each? Everyone wants a brand new house, but there's things you're not going to get with a brand new house versus with a house that's been there for a little bit. So those are kind of some of the things we'll also talk about and cover. And new areas, like Lehigh, Saratoga Springs, Eagle Mountain, those places are booming right now.
Huge.
Booming. But there's other places that maybe not as much, and you won't get as much value out of those places.
Yeah, and so many of the new builders. And so when you track new builders, they spend a lot of money because they have to put out a lot of money to build these houses. So they know the data. They know what's going on. So when you have incentives coming from builders, 5%, 10%, let's give you a $30,000 upgrade package because they can't sell a house for $500,000 one month and then $480 the next month and then $470 the next month. They have to build these incentives in to keep the inventory moving because they already know that the market's stalled out.
And if you know data and market and statistics and all that, actually incentives are better than lowering the price.
Huge.
You get more for the money with an incentive, lower monthly rates, monthly payments, I should say, various different things. So a lower price sounds great, but is it? Versus getting the incentives. And talking about new builders, Dave Hodge was supposed to be with us today. He's Edge Homes. He's one of the sales reps out there. And we're going to have him probably on our next podcast. We're going to talk new construction next time. So
yeah, which is great. It's funny about that because one of the other guys from Edge Homes called me too and asked me about this home that we just listed as a short sale. He goes, that's an Edge Homes. I'm like, yes, I know. And they were like, well, we would like to take a look at it, because it was one of those that got bought in as an incentive, but it's going into a short sale. They haven't been able to make a payment. And it's going to be, so we try and stop it before it gets to foreclosure. And I've done a ton of short sales over the years. It's amazing because nothing ever makes sense with the banks, right? As you go through this. And so, but when the builder comes to you and says, hey, I'm interested in buying that house from you.
That's a topic we can definitely cover. In
100%.
Short sales, you used to hear about them a lot. They went away for a little bit. Sounds like they may be coming back again, short sales. So that's another thing. When you get a short sale, what is a short sale? We can talk about that
exactly.
next time.
So we're going to give you some homework, right? So your homework for this episode here that we do, write down and put it in the chat below. Put it in just in the description of what would you like to see us, talk about? What would you like for us to cover, and what specific thing are you up against? Because one of the things that we do is we really like to educate people, and we really like to give of our information that we have. We have an abundance of information all the way from the money side to the farming side to the repair side, to maybe it's the litigation side that you have to deal with. Maybe it's a state or local issues because every state's a little different with everything. Right. And no other state, just so you know, we'll throw it out there because that's what this phone call was about, water rights.
Right. Water rights is an interesting one.
It is like gold here in Utah,
and you got to make sure you handle that properly because there's been deals when I was a little bit newer and water rights were involved, and title company I was working with didn't exactly go about it the right way, and he bought the water rights, but now how did he get them? We were like, he bought it, was in the contract, but how do we now get that water right? And the people that are running, I don't even know what they're called, the water right people, we're giving them a big deal about no. You don't get the water rights. And hey, we just bought the water rights. So you got to make sure, too, you got an expert when it comes to anything real estate. Exactly. You got an expert in your corner helping you out.
Exactly. And not just like consumers, but we also like investors, for instance. And I always tell the new investors this. I've been teaching investors for a long time how to do flipping. But if you don't know how to do a craft, if you don't know how to do a trade, if you don't know how to do something, team up with somebody that knows how to do it. Let me take a drink of water real fast of this really H2O. That's gold water here in Utah.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, and that's one of the most important things. That's how I try to put my career. That's why Jake's next to me. I try to surround myself with people that know more than me. Because if I'm surrounding myself with people that know less than me, I'm getting nowhere, right? I got to surround myself with someone that knows more than me. That way I can build off of them. Jake, I can build off of him. He knows a lot of stuff I don't know. I'm hoping I know stuff he doesn't know he can build off of me. So
100%. We both have our different skills for sure and our different knowledges. And here's the thing too. So we talk about buyers, we talk about sellers, and then we talk about everybody that takes care of the homes, like the contractors, the title agents, the inspectors, etc. But there's also this other side too called agents. Right, agents and brokers.
They're all crooked, those agents.
They're like used car salesmen, you know.
Yeah. So but you can't trust them.
Yeah, you know what the thing is, and that's right, because they get, a lot of get a bad name because they don't know how to fall through. They don't know how to actually just have a conversation or even pick up your phone. But
unfortunately, there's the good and bad in any profession, and unfortunately, there's the good and the bad in the real estate agent as well. Mm-hmm. We're not the bad ones, though.
Yeah, so I always look at if you are an agent that you need help, right? And you're going into a deal. This is one thing that I've found both on the investing side and the agent side. An agent will come to me and says, hey, can you mentor me? Yeah, great, no problem. I said, let's do the deal together. We'll split 50-50 and I'll walk you through and teach you everything that you need to know. Well, what happens is then the agent goes, oh, I don't want to pay that much, or I don't think it's that much, And I'm like, great, I don't need to mentor you, and I don't need somebody to be on a team. I don't need anything like that, But it's like, you got to understand that if you want to go to the next level, you've got to have something in place. If you're going to do a burnout, don't do it by yourself. Go do it with somebody who's done a burnout before.
And if you think just entering the real estate world is cake, you go in there and people just hand you money. It's easy. I list a home. I make all this money. Great. No, it is. There's a lot of work involved, and maybe we'll talk about that too.
Absolutely.
As we progress through the podcast episodes. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people do think, I'm just going to get my license. It's going to be so easy. As soon as I get in, I'm going to make all this money. No, it doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm. My model, and I got to get this up on my office wall. Good things come to those who hustle, and you got to hustle. In any business and anything in life, you got to hustle.
Exactly. And Adam and I just had a podcast earlier, the Jake and Adam show, and we talked about hustling. We talked about the grit that you have to push through, and it's like, well, you're going to come up against it. There's no question about it. At some point in your life, you're going to come up against it many times, and you got to be able to push through it, Yeah. And so as we create some information, we're hoping I look at it as a minefield, and if you go through this minefield by yourself, you're going to get blown up. You might not get blown up first at the very big, but you might lose a leg and you're kind of limping trying the next one. You might lose that one, and then you're pulling yourself with your stumps, going through. By the time you get to the other side, you can't even move because you've been blown to bits. If you have a mentor, somebody that guides you,
hey, don't go over there, you're going to get blown up.
Yeah, go left and right, and that's really what we want to do, is create that opportunity for you, that you have some information that you're not going to get damaged along the way, because we've made mistakes in our business. There's been other players that made mistakes. We're going to have people on this podcast that have gone through it as well too. And really, our biggest thing is bring you resources in your life for this podcast that we can actually really push you into another level. It's just really education. Yeah. What it is, and it doesn't cost you a thing. It really doesn't. We're just going to do this complimentary and just free. It's really us giving back to the community of all these years that we have. You kind of cross that line. I think once you get a little gray and you get a little bald, you tend to just put things out there for free.
We love what we do, and we want to share our expertise with everybody. The Utah market, it's a great market. Mm-hmm. It's a great market compared to other states around us. Utah is probably, I already said it's my favorite place, but it's one of the better markets, I would dare say, in the United States to buy and sell real estate.
Yeah, it's one of the top markets right now that are in the list. And we're going to talk about why in our next couple of
And you talked about, different, title companies, lenders, builders, all that. We're going to have an expert from one of those fields join us throughout these series of podcasts we do. Yeah. We'll bring in the experts in each of these fields. We'll talk to them. We'll get information about that, and we'll get it out to you guys. The real estate market in Utah, this is what we're going to do.
And we're not going to disappoint you. I promise you that, because you're going to be able to leave with this information. And if you get disappointed, just stop watching. We don't care. It's
don't
okay.
Stop watching. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. Don't ever stop watching.
That's right. It's so funny because we get hooked on it. Like, if there is value, by the way, if people bring it, and you got to bring it, if you can bring it with fun, right? Yeah. If you can actually have fun doing it.
And we have fun.
And we do. We have a lot of fun. It makes it fun to watch it because people like to watch funny things, and I say sexy things, but I mean something like
heck.
Robin Leach.
Come on, sexy.
Yeah, sexy things, but remember what Robin Leach and the Witch and Famous. So we have this lifestyle that you want.
Damn,
people
you're
want to
old.
be. What's that?
You're old.
I am old. Can you remember?
That was a long time ago.
That does, And does Carlton Sheets also bring a name that makes me old too? You remember him? Carlton Sheets. Anybody out there, raise your hand if you.
Well, my favorite
know Carlton Sheets.
My favorite show when I was a kid was Gilligan's Island. So.
Okay, so,
I'm pretty old too.
So you like Ginger Ed? Is that the?
That's why I watched, right?
Yeah, see, that's why you watched it. That's right. That's awesome. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching us on our first podcast. Yes.
And before we go,
Yes.
also, UtahHousingMarket.com. We're going to connect this podcast to the website as well. So we got the Utah Housing Market podcast, which you're watching right now, and UtahHousing.com. All information, everything we talk about here, you're going to find that on the website as well. It's a website dedicated to the Utah housing market. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
We'll put that in the
out.
comments below. We'll actually put it in the description below.
My
the link.
information will be there. Jake's information will be there. We'll put that both in the comments below. Scroll down. Check it out.
Yeah, we'll connect it. We want to create an opportunity for you that, it's really something that is when you're on the bus, when you're in the car, when you're driving, when you're laying in bed or something like that. It's something that you can watch to really go, oh, wow, that was great information today. And we want to make sure that we have, information that pertains to you, really. And we're going to put it out there for a lot of people. We want you to be involved. We want you, to have a say, hey, what's going on in here? And we want it to be an open book that you can ask us any question that you want. And we can answer it for you in a way that would make sense for you too.
And there's no dumb questions, especially in this market. I mean, there's a lot of questions everybody wants to know. Please put them in the comments.
There is one dumb question. If you were to ask, does Jake like chocolate? That's kind of a dumb question because I like chocolate, just so you can answer so you don't have to.
I like pizza.
Pizza, right? That's another. Does Micah like pizza? So don't ask those two questions. We'll be like, that's kind of a dumb question, right?
Who doesn't like pizza? Come on, no?
So how about chocolate on pizza?
That would be interesting. I mean, that's a dessert pizza, I guess.
Yeah, I've had that actually. Down in Mexico, it's amazing pizza that they have. It's like the fruit.
I've heard those do dessert pizzas, so yeah, I mean, put a little bit of chocolate on there.
Delicious.
Yeah.
They're great.
But anyway, don't forget, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, give us a comment. Want to grow this. We want you guys to get as much information as possible, so please support it.
Thanks for being a part of it, guys. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next episode. Enjoy.